Alright, everyone, this is Terry Walker here with Off the Mat Wrestling / Let's Talk Wrestling. Coming back at you with another AEW review. Man, what a hell of a show tonight. Had a lot of action going on. The Young Bucks winning the tag team thing and everything. We're going to get into everything tonight. Really excited about the show tonight. Thought it was badass. So let's jump into it and go from there. Also, everyone that's been liking the page, thank you very much for your support, the follows, the likes, the comments. Dennis, I'm loving the weekly question. It's badass. Thank you for helping me get this page off the ground, and please share, like, comment, send in fan mail. We haven't reached that level yet for the fan mail. We need more stuff sent to the inbox, more questions. I will gladly give you a shout out on the videos. So yeah, send those in, send them our way. So let's jump into it. My wife was nice enough to pull up the entire card so I didn't miss a thing to talk to you guys about, because this was a hell of a show. Tony Khan is putting in a lot of work into these. You got Cody as the VP. Really putting in some work. So let's jump right into it. Opening of the show, the Young Bucks win the AEW Tag Team Battle Royal to determine number one contender for AEW World Tag Team Championship. Wow, what a match. Great match to put all the tag teams in, one match, so everyone's on TV, everyone gets TV time, everyone gets to showcase what they can do. A lot of great moments in that match alone. Opening the show, of course, Orange Cassidy, hands in the pocket, saving the day. He catches Trent, I believe it was once or twice. I know for a fact the one on the shoulder had me laughing, and then of course, the bunny, comes up and lays a finger down the chest and pulls him in and knees him right in the balls, so he doesn't end up catching Trent the second time. That was hysterical. Even had my kids laughing about it. I hope he had his hands on his nuts when she did it, because, they were in his pockets, Orange Cassidy. But yeah, great action. Matt showed that without his partner, he could still pull off a win. It looked like there was no way the Young Bucks were going to win this. Santana, Ortiz were still in the ring. You had that slimy little fucker, Sammy, outside, but I'll get to what happened to him here in a minute, because, yeah, my entire house was up for and fucking laughing. His ass got folded like an old fucking wallet. It was hysterical. I'd like to see that happen to him again, to be honest. Nothing against Sammy, just fucking funny. But yeah. Great action in the match. Great spots. You got, like I was saying at the end, Matt pretty much having a super kick party and eliminating people. Sammy goes up on the springboard, comes down, gets folded like an old wallet. Honestly, my wife's comment was, someone please call the dentist for that folded little fucker in the mat. Which is funny because they have an on-site dentist, Britt Baker, right there, and it was even more funnier that, she came out for the Chris Stanley and Shayna match, but she took a little bit, so I made the joke of, yeah, she's probably back there helping Sammy fix his jaw, because that looked nasty. Just, ouch. Nah. Taking super kicks in the past, but I'm 6'4", 275. I ain't doing no springboard, but I've been kicked in the face quite a few times. Alright, the Chris Stanley and Shayna match, that was, for anyone out there that keeps having problems with AEW's women's division, and we'll get to the other problems here in a second. My cat wants out of the room. Sorry, guys. But yeah, Shayna haven't been seen in a while against Stanley, and Statlander has shown. She's been there week in, week out. Great matches, great physique. Works her character, really damn good. Really puts in effort to it. So, you gotta go with the punches on that one, but Shayna pulled off some great ring maneuvers. Know it all. I mean, I'd like to see her more in AEW. I really would. I'd like to see her in the women's, main event. Maybe not like right now, but build up to it. I think she'd be a damn good person to have in there. She shows she's technical. She has heart. That's, hard to find nowadays in some of these people. It really is. Let's see. Christina defeated her, but Shayna went out and, shown that this is where she needs to be. She deserves to be here. She deserves to be on TV. AEW did right by bringing her in and keeping her in. I mean, they're going around. I mean, the rumor is AEW's got a lot of, trash bag wrestlers or people that aren't famous already and stuff like that. Here's the thing. And this is the thing that I know I'm going to get hate mail for saying this, but it's my opinion, so just bear with me. The problem WWE has right now is they're still trying to cram all these other stars down our freaking throats that have already been legitimized, I believe is the word, and shown, they're top stars, but when they get hurt, when they start getting injured, when they start getting burned out, when they start losing passion, anything like that, you're going to be left scrambling for, okay, who can we push as the next new guy? I mean, if you look back in the early 90s, it's been said in many interviews, Vince himself was looking around going, all right, Flair has a title, he's leaving soon, who can we put the belt on? And no one really, everyone threw out their own opinions, and eventually it came down to Vince, and he goes, why not, Bret, And I love Bret Hart. I'm a big Bret Hart fan, always was. Best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. But yeah, getting off topic, but that's the problem you're having, and AEW isn't full of trash bag wrestlers like it's being said. AEW is taking the time to build their own stars. I mean, yeah, they got Jericho, they got Moxley, Kenny and Cody have been famous in other companies. That's well established, and Kenny's actually one of my favorites. Moxley's always been one of my favorites, all the way back to CZW, if you can remember that company. I mean, I've always been a fan of his. And it's just nice that, yes, they have those star power around the title picture, but they're still building other people, and I got into that online today, actually, with Dennis. I can never pronounce your last name right, my boy. My bad. Siobhan. Sorry. But yeah, was talking with Dennis about that, and I was like, seeing them create their own stars, I gotta go with Darby Allin on that. Now, yes, I've said in videos before, I don't think Darby is ready for a world title run yet. Don't get me wrong. The guy has his gimmick down, has his character down, his persona down, and runs with it and works amazing at it. But he's not just at that level yet. If I was AEW booking and I had anything to do with booking of the stars or anything like that, or just a booker in general, take Darby and do a slow burning build with him. Let him start beating some guys. Get some legitimate wins underneath his belt over top guys. Continue to let him build up and up and up. And then put him up against the champ. It could be a champ that where everyone thinks this guy's going to squash Darby, whatever. But book the match to where Darby actually wins the belt after he's beaten all these legitimate stars and main eventers, even former title holders, whatever. But leave it at that, and then set the title match up and have Darby win. Not only would the fans be more interested in this match because of the fact it took Darby that long to get to that point, but once he wins, no one could ever say, he didn't earn that title run. He beat everyone else. Why not? The fans are behind him. That's what I do with Darby. And I know Dennis is gonna hit me back with hate mail and be like, dude, he needs it. No. You asked my opinion, that was my opinion. Let Darby do a slow burning build. Get that fire going, get the fans more interested in him, get, everything. And then put him in the title picture. That's what I would do. Alright. Next, we have Tony Schiavone, interviews Nyla Rose. Now, I have done 4 other videos. However, I was not allowed to go live and was not able to upload those videos because of my previous comments I've made about Nyla Rose and my true beliefs that, look, let's just cut to the point. I got nothing against people that are lesbian. I got nothing against people that are gay. I don't have anything against people that are trans. I don't judge people. That's just not me. It's never been something I've done, be what you want to be. As long as you're happy in your own skin, fuck what anyone else thinks, really. So when I said I didn't like the fact of how they made Rio look and put her in with Nyla, I didn't mean it how it came out and how it sounded. Look, Nyla Rose might be a trans, but she identifies as a woman. She wrestles as a woman. If you only sit there and think about, trans this, trans that, transgender this, you're taking away from the fact that Nia backs it up in the ring. She's there every week except for, her suspension or whatever. But when she's there, she puts on good matches. She helps draw the ratings. She puts butts in seats. What is the problem with her having the title? Honestly, there isn't any. There's a bunch of marks that want to sit there and know jack shit about wrestling in general and start having issues with it. And that's why you're a mark. Sorry, man, but that's it. Now, do I agree that Nyla should have went out there and completely squashed Rio like she did? No. I mean, yeah, she made Rio look tough. Rio had some good spots in the match, but to me, it seemed like they just shit on Rio's title reign. Is she gonna come back and beat Nyla? Maybe. I'd rather honestly see either Big Swole or even Statlander get a title shot first. And yeah, Rio might have a contracted rematch. I don't know how that goes in AEW yet. I haven't really looked into that, but that's on the agenda. But yeah, I'd like to see Statlander go after her at Big Swole. I think that'd be a damn good match. Britt Baker, yeah, size-wise, maybe not, but Nyla Rose has shown she's all power, and Britt has the ability to actually take her down using technical ability, catch can style for you older wrestling fans, and, straight shooter and put her in holds and stuff like that. That is how someone could take Nyla down and even out. Britt's shown with that lockjaw, she can really hurt some people. So yeah, that'd be it for that. Next up, we had Jon Moxley versus Jeff Cobb, the hired gun of Chris Jericho's Inner Circle. Yeah. I've seen Cobb wrestle in other companies personally. That man is a beast. To me, he reminds me of if you took early Taz in ECW, when he had the Fuck the World title, and you mixed him with Rhino, you would get Jeff Cobb. Great working wrestler, great tactician, can submit you, can beat the shit out of you anytime he chooses to. So for them to put him against Moxley and for Cobb to be the hired gun, that was a great way to make Moxley look strong. Yeah, he's got the, I believe it's this eye actually. He's got the eye patch, but it definitely shows, Moxley is injured, and, you back a wounded animal into a corner, you're in for a fight. Moxley defeated him tonight. Great match. Moxley took an ass whooping. Came out with the win, though. You got Inner Circle jumping him after the match, and leads to all people like I just mentioned. Darby Allin running down to save the day. I mean, shit. I'm not one for taking a bunch of people, putting them in the tag division like they already have a full roster for. But Moxley and Darby would make a good team. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, that's my opinion, but I also like to see them kind of stay in the singles run, and Moxley end up beating Jericho for the title. They could even put, Darby against Moxley for the belt. Who knows? Alright. I got it. But yeah, Moxley took an ass whooping tonight's match. I got the card pulled up on the other laptop, so if you see me looking that way, I apologize. Let's see here. After Moxley defeated Cobb, we got Kenny Omega and Hangman Page versus the Lucha Bros. AEW World Tag Team Championship match. Holy shit, what a match. You cannot personify tag team wrestling any more legitimately unless you at least mention AEW's tag team champions. Kenny deserves to be in the main event picture. He definitely deserves to have a run with the title. Kenny has proven not only can he be put in the ring with anybody and have a good match and work a great match, he's also shown he can be partnered with anybody and work as a team. If you go back through Kenny's whole career, Bullet Club, in New Japan, everything, he's proven he can work on his own and he can work in a team. I mean, Kenny is, to me right now, reminds me of like the workhorse of the company. Goes out there every week, has good matches, busts his ass, takes what he gets, and, doesn't say a word about it. He's just happy to be doing what he loves to do. That to me is a hell of a worker. And with the company not even a year old, you need those. You need a lot of workers. You really do. People that don't mind carrying a company. People that don't mind helping build the company. And that's exactly what Cody and Tony Khan did by bringing Kenny in, knowing, this is a guy that can do that. Anyways, the match, great action. I mean, great maneuvers. At one point, Kenny went for the pile driver on the apron. It was stopped. Man, if he landed that, I'll tell you right now, that ring apron, it's no joke. That is the hardest part of that ring. And when you get slammed on your head, your back, or anything like that, you feel it. I've taken the suplex to the apron. I've taken the powerbomb to the apron. It doesn't tickle. It hurts. You're going to feel it. And I've seen, a few comments on the page, even this morning. The wrestling ring's like a trampoline. Wrestling ring, so much padding, you bounce up. To the man that put that comment on here, not only did the rest of the followers on this page eat you alive, but I'm going to say it now. Chris, unless you have actually wrestled in a ring before, you don't have any right to say that kind of stuff, man. You got wood and steel framing with maybe an inch to 2 inches of padding. You're not in there bouncing around like you're at a freaking bounce house, man. When you get slammed, you're going to feel it. Which leads to so many injuries, people getting stingers, to where parts of the body are going numb. That's why I don't lace up a pair of boots anymore. For any of you that followed my Fans of Archangel page, anything like that, or know me personally as being in the ring before, well, it was great to actually see you again and get to talk to you. You're an old buddy of mine from Ring of Honor. I'm glad you're still up and kicking ass. I mean, we go back pretty far. I think my dark match for Ring of Honor was, almost 10 years ago. It is nice to be remembered, I ain't gonna lie, but your comment of when am I dusting the boots off and getting back in the ring, 13 concussions later, and Sadly, nerve damage from the neck down prevents me from ever getting cleared. So that it can't happen. I wouldn't mind getting brought in as a booker, storyline writer, something like that. Creative committee, if you will, for you far northeast fucks. But yeah, something like that. But Will, it was nice to see you again, man. You keep kicking ass, and yeah, man, keep showing why you do what you do and why you are who you are. It's not chilling like a villain. It's villain and chilling. All right. After the Kenny Omega and Hangman Page match, one more thing about that match was hysterical. Page goes for the buckshot clothesline, misses, turns around, walks right into a nasty, kind of reminded me of like the Stan Hansen lariat looking clothesline. Just, man, you could hear the impact right through the TV. It was just, but yeah, moving on. You got Cody defeats Waterlow in the first ever steel cage match on Dynamite. I'm glad AEW had the cage match. I really am. You know, Cody's another one. You can put him in with anybody, and fuck, he could wrestle a broomstick and still come out with a 5-star match. Don't ask me how, but he would. A lot of good moments in here. They didn't make Waterloo look weak. They made him look inexperienced, and I loved Arn Anderson's little segment in the promo for the match that he hasn't been tested yet, so tonight we're going to test his ass. Perfect. That is why they have Arn on TV. That is why he's the coach of Cody. You know, so much wisdom. Arn the Enforcer loved his work when he could still wrestle. It was sad that he had to retire because of his neck, but anyone out there that from NWA, WWE, WCW, I mean, Arn's earned the respect of the fans. He's earned the respect of his peers. He's earned the respect of a lot of people. He earned more respect tonight when he took that cage door and slammed it right in MJF's fucking face. That was amazing. And, you know, MJF is standing there telling Arn, yeah, you know you want to do it. You know you want to do it, to hit Cody with the door. And, yeah, hysterically enough, he slams it in MJF's face. The slimy little buck. That was hysterical. Not only that, but then you got, during the match, Cody ends up getting busted open. Great dramatic effect there. Really making Wardlow look strong in like his first showing, especially in the steel cage. Wardlow had some good moves. I was waiting for Cody to realize the size difference and play into it. Let Wardlow come charging across the ring and have Cody hit him with a basement dropkick to the knee. Start working the legs and chop him down. But no, Cody went out there and fought. Instead of doing what I figured he was going to do, no, he went out there man up, just straight man to man, smash mouth fighting him right in the cage. Great match. Don't get me wrong. Great match. It just, yeah, it was, you know, MJF saying he wanted him in the cage with Waterlow. MJF could have went out and got like somebody else to go against Cody for that match. I mean, they could have booked, you know, MJF hired Shawn Spears to come back, which honestly I miss seeing him on TV. I really think Shawn Spears is, if they're looking for someone that can push as a giant heel other than Jericho or his inner posse, inner circle, whatever, Shawn Spears is the guy you want to go with, honestly. But yeah, Cody climbs up to the top of the cage and does a moonsault to Wardlow. Wardlow miscues it if you actually watch the match. Does not catch Cody right. You know, as they're coming down like that, your shoulder is to be pretty much on pelvis or a little above, is what we're taught. And your arms are like this as you fall back, with them landing their chest pretty much in this area to cover them. Cody took that fall on his legs. Like, he completely moonsaulted. You see him come down on Wardlow, but you see him also put the weight on his legs as he landed. Did not land right. Bounced up, pinned him, and that was the end of it. It's safe to say you can tell Cody grew up watching the Hardy Boys jump off cages ladders and everything else, because it shows. The way he positioned for the moonsault and the way he jumped for it and turned during it clearly shows, like, yeah, you can tell he's been a fan of high flyers for a while. I mean, disaster kicks were good. I mean, shit, jumping off the cage like that, he could have been watching Shane do it when Shane McMahon fucking jumped off the Hell in a Cell. To be honest, what hasn't he jumped off of? Let's see, there was the scaffolding from SummerSlam against Steve Blackman. There was the Titantron against Big Show. So he jumped a lot. It's nice to see Cody come out. He bleeds in the match. It was nice that, you know, they mentioned Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes' cage matches they've had. That's good. Like, to me, that's good that they're mentioning that and how, you know, the cage matches started. Because back then, no, they did not have the escape the cage to win rule. You had to beat your opponent down and either pin him or lock him in a hold and hold it there until he cried and tapped out. There was no escaping the cage, and I'm glad AEW stuck to that. Like, tradition, heritage, stuff like that. You'll see this in AEW, you really will. So any fan that even hasn't tuned in yet and aren't too sure about the show, if you want tradition and wrestling that actually matters and not soap opera to where you're sitting there for an hour and see 2 5-minute matches and you're going, well, what the fuck? Yeah, go watch that other shit up north. If you want to watch actual real wrestling and good wrestling, my advice would be All Elite Wrestling Wednesday nights on TNT. However, Brian Cobb, before you even jump my ass for this, let me finish. If you want to see another show that has been proven time and time again, they might have a low budget, they might have low broadcast abilities, you know, stuff like that. Another company other than All Elite Wrestling that has really been getting back to the wrestling and not the soap opera bullshit. NWA, National Wrestling Alliance, Power. Great action in the ring. I mean, they got the interviews like right there by the ring. You can tell it's a studio, you know, studio venue, I'll call it. It's small, but any true wrestling fan isn't going to look all that. They'll be able to look past that and concentrate on the in-ring work, and NWA Power has been doing that. Now, I had someone ask me would I like to see, you know, AEW and NWA partner up. Hell yes. Even if it was for like some super card where it was AEW wrestling NWA stars, I would love to see Aldis and Cody fight for the NWA title. Even if my man James Storm beats Aldis, I'd like to see James Storm and Cody fight for the NWA title. I think there's a lot of guys in NWA right now. Eli Drake, Aldis, James Storm, you know, all of them that they could work an angle. I wouldn't really say like an invasion, but just a super card, if you will, kind of like New Japan's done. Just, you know, their top guys, our top guys, let's put them in a match. And it doesn't really have to have any storylines to it, just bug it. Yeah, that's my review of AEW this week. Tune in next week, Wednesday night. I'll do another one. I'm getting ready to do the LCW, the rise and fall of LCW, Untold Stories. I believe I'm doing Rising Rookies. I'll talk about the people that came into us kind of green and left making a name for themselves. The company was only around for a couple of years, but it was a good run, and there's a lot to be told still. There's a lot of chapters of things that, you know, the fans never really got to hear, see, or even understand what happened. But yeah, that's my video for AEW tonight. I'm going to switch over and do the LCW's Untold Stories video. I'm Terry Walker. This is Off the Mat Wrestling, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.